Hello, everyone. Today's story is about a young man with a very unusual job. He was not a famous actor. He was not a movie star. Most people watching movies never even noticed him. But every day, he lived inside the world of movies. Sometimes he was a waiter, sometimes a police officer, sometimes a zombie, and sometimes he only walked behind the main actor for 3 seconds. His job was simple. He was an extra actor, a background actor. But even though his role was small, his life was full of funny moments, strange accidents, and unforgettable memories. This is the story of a cheerful young man who discovered that even small roles can create big happiness. Now, let's begin. His name was Ryan. Ryan lived in a busy city, full of movie studios and cameras. Since childhood, he loved movies. Action movies, comedy movies, romantic movies, everything. When Ryan was younger, he dreamed about becoming a famous actor someday. But life was not easy. He did not have connections. He did not have money. And honestly, he was not very good at acting either. But Ryan still wanted to work in movies somehow. So one day, he applied to become an extra actor. The pay was small. The roles were tiny. Sometimes, he only appeared on screen for 2 seconds. But Ryan did not care, because to him, being near movie sets already felt exciting. His first role was very simple. He played man walking in park. That was it. No speaking, no dramatic scene, just walking. Ryan practiced that walk seriously at home, too seriously. When filming started, he walked so confidently that he accidentally blocked the main actor's face. Cut. The director sighed loudly. Everyone laughed. Ryan's face turned red immediately. But strangely, he laughed too. And that was the beginning of his funny life as an extra actor. After a few months, Ryan became surprisingly busy. One week, he worked in a hospital drama. The next week, he became a customer in a restaurant scene. Then suddenly, he was running from fake zombies in a horror movie. His life became completely unpredictable. Every morning felt different. One day, he wore a police uniform. The next day, he dressed like a businessman. Then suddenly, he wore strange historical clothes for a movie about kings and warriors. Sometimes, Ryan looked at himself in the mirror and laughed. "What am I today?" he asked himself. One funny thing about Ryan was that he appeared in many movies and shows. Very many. His friends started noticing him everywhere. "Wait, was that you behind the cafe scene? Were you the guy carrying bread in episode 4? Why are you in every movie?" Ryan laughed every time. Even though his roles were tiny, he secretly enjoyed it, because little by little, he became part of the movie world. One summer afternoon, Ryan got a role in a romantic movie. His job sounded easy. He only needed to sit at a cafe and drink coffee in the background. Simple, right? Wrong. Very wrong. During filming, the main actors were having an emotional conversation. The scene was beautiful and serious. Everyone stayed silent. Cameras moved slowly. Then suddenly, Ryan accidentally drank coffee too fast and started choking loudly. Cough, cough. Coffee almost came out of his nose. The entire set froze. The actors stopped immediately. Then someone started laughing. Then everyone laughed. Even the director could not stop smiling. Ryan felt extremely embarrassed. But honestly, the scene became everyone's favorite memory that day. For weeks afterward, people on set joked with him, "Careful with coffee, Ryan." And every time, Ryan laughed with them, because that was the kind of person he was. Relaxed, funny, easygoing. One of Ryan's favorite jobs was working in horror movies, especially zombie movies. Why? Because they were completely crazy. One night, Ryan worked on a zombie film with over 100 extra actors. Everyone wore terrifying makeup. Fake blood covered their clothes. Some actors looked so scary that Ryan almost laughed every time he saw them. The director shouted loudly, "Run like your life depends on it." Suddenly, 100 zombies started running together. People screamed dramatically. Cars exploded. Everything became chaotic. And then, Ryan tripped over a fake zombie arm. On the ground, he rolled down a small hill dramatically, while still acting like a zombie. The funniest part? The cameras were still recording. When the crew watched the replay later, everyone laughed uncontrollably. The director even said, "Honestly, keep it in the movie." And somehow, Ryan's accident stayed in the final scene. People often thought movie jobs were glamorous, but Ryan knew the truth. Sometimes, being an extra actor meant waiting for hours, very long hours. Some days, he arrived at 5 a.m. and did not film until afternoon. Extra actors spent a lot of time together waiting, eating snacks, talking, playing games on phones, telling funny stories. Ryan loved those moments because every extra actor had strange experiences. One man once played a dead body for 8 hours. Another woman accidentally slapped a famous actor. During filming, someone else got stuck inside a giant mascot costume. Every day felt like a new adventure. And even though Ryan was never the star, he never felt bored, because his life was full of funny surprises. One day, Ryan worked on a big movie with a very famous actor named Daniel Hart. Everyone on set admired him. People whispered excitedly whenever he arrived. But Ryan was surprisingly calm. Why? Because Ryan was too busy trying not to ruin scenes. During lunch break, Ryan accidentally sat beside Daniel without noticing. Then suddenly, he realized who was next to him. Ryan froze immediately. Daniel smiled casually and said, "Relax, I'm just eating lunch too." To Ryan's surprise, Daniel was friendly and funny. They talked about movies, food, and work. Then Daniel asked something unexpected. "Do you enjoy being an extra actor?" Ryan smiled honestly. "Actually, yes. Every day is different." Daniel laughed. "That's a good way to live." That small conversation stayed in Ryan's heart for a long time, because for the first time, he realized something important. Success is not only about fame. Sometimes, enjoying your life is already a kind of success. Years passed slowly. Ryan never became a famous actor. He never appeared on giant movie posters. People still rarely knew his name. But strangely, he was happy. Very happy. He traveled to different filming locations, met interesting people, collected funny memories, and every movie gave him another story to tell. Sometimes, his family watched movies together and suddenly shouted, "That's Ryan." Even if he only appeared for 3 seconds, everyone laughed loudly every time. And honestly, Ryan loved those moments because even though his role was small, he was still part of something bigger. Part of stories that made people laugh, cry, and smile. And to him, that was enough. So, this is Ryan's story. A cheerful young man who lived inside the movie world without becoming a famous star. A man who discovered happiness through small moments, funny accidents, and simple adventures. Maybe life does not always need to be perfect to be beautiful. Maybe you do not need to become the main character to enjoy your life. Sometimes, small roles can still create wonderful memories. And sometimes, the happiest people are simply the ones who learn to laugh, relax, and enjoy the journey. Thank you for listening, and I will see you in the next story.